Hi everyone, and welcome to the next video in this series of 8 miniature pictures from Small Victories postcards, and as I always say, also in the book. I'm going to do this one here. Let's get it nice and close, or as close as we can. There we go. Now this is in the shape of a pear, so that's how I am going to colour it, and I thought I might just do, maybe I would stick to greens for this one. Maybe. Let's start and see how we go anyway. I'm going to start with the olive yellow. It is a yellow, but we're going to put some green on top. But just thinking pears are quite, can be quite pale. So I'm going to put a little layer of this on our pear. And then we're going to darken the edges and things in a bit. I hope everyone's well today. What have I been up to? Oh, it's Saturday. My son's live streaming, and we went out to the farmers market this morning, which was nice. The farmers market in our town is quite a big, busy one. One of the sort of original ones. I'm just choosing my next colour. I'm thinking elm green might be where I'm going next. I'm going to do some darker bits around the edges, you'll see. So there's a covered marketplace where some stalls are. Then there's quite a few stalls along the streets. They're pedestrianised streets, so they're cobbled, and so they're not horrible, uncomfortable cobbles, more modern pavias. And then there's a church hall as well where there are some craft stores, so it's pretty busy. Just thinking I might put my light on. There we go, I can see better now. It's always good to be able to see what you're doing. And yes, there's a big selection of different things. I didn't go to the craft bit, but you've got sort of 3 or 4 bakeries, lots of cakes, donuts, that sort of thing as well. I'm going to really go quite dark on that edge and really try to just fade it towards the middle. Okay. And you've got your butchers, lots of different meat stalls, some selling cooked meat like sausages in a bun or things like that. You've got egg store, mushroom store, a couple of different veggie stores, organic I think. Then there's sort of Indian food. There are 2 Indian food stalls, one where you can take it away hot or cold, one where it's all cold. There's I think it's sort of Thai food. There's falafels, there's Portuguese custard tarts, there's wines, beers, there's dairy, milk, eggs, cheese, that sort of thing. There's a WI store where they have cakes and plants. There's a lot going on. And there's also honey and jams and things like that. There we go. It certainly doesn't look yellow anymore. But what I am going to do is just grab that olive yellow and do a little bit of the middle of it, just to blend it in a bit. I'm enjoying doing this. So yes, very busy, bustly market. It was absolutely chucking it down. Well, it could have been heavier, to be honest. I didn't get that wet. I was wearing a light jacket. It wasn't that cold, but I put the hood up and then I felt cosy. I think had I had the hood down, I'd have felt colder. I also had my hands flung in my pockets. Right, I'm going to find quite a dark green now to do that door frame and window frame. The Scouring Rush is a really dark one. Where is that? Oh, there it is. I need to sharpen it. I've knocked my sharpener over. Here it is. So yes, so that was a lot of fun. We just tend to buy bread. This is Scouring Rush. We buy wholemeal bread and we ask for them to slice it for us. They bring it sliced because we ask for it sliced. I think a lot of people like the idea of artisan bread that you can slice yourself, but slicing bread is so hard that I'd rather just have it sliced and then I can throw the loaves in the freezer and use them throughout the week, if that makes sense, rather than having to, rather than eating it right away, which if you were slicing it you might do. Now I want a browny green for our little stick. I'm trying to stick to greens, so the elm green is quite brown. That's what we used. Okay, no, that's not going to work. The willow, it's really pale, but it looks like it might just do the trick. Here it is. We'll see how it looks. Ooh, I can't get it out of the pencil case. They're very tight in my pencil case, willow, even though they're not really thick pencils, so I don't really know why. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to layer it up a little bit because it's one of the paler tones. It's LG, I don't know what that is. Light, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. It does look significant. It doesn't look brown, but that's okay. It looks significantly different to the colour of the pear itself, and that's really all that matters. Now the leaf, we can go any colour really, so I'm going to have a little look, see what we have got going on. I sort of fancy a mid-green. We don't really have one. Having looked, the lettuce green might be the nearest, so I'm going to grab that. Here we go, lettuce green. Now, talking of lettuce, I was talking to my friend Mary. She always watches my videos. Hi Mary. And she was talking, she's an Agatha Christie fan, and there's a character called Lettuce in the Agatha Christie, and she was a bit confused because she was listening to an audiobook and said, are they really called lettuce? And I was like the salad vegetable. I was like, yeah, I did a bit of research because I didn't know. I a little like Agatha Christie, but not enough to remember all the names. So that was that little story, and we did that, and that was good. But what was quite interesting was, I'm trying to look for a yellowy green to do the light in the windows. I think I'm going to go for the chartreuse green. I was watching a quiz the other day. I like pointers. You may or may not know the quiz. And one of the categories was Agatha Christie characters. And the character Lettuce, it had her surname as well, I can't remember what it was, came up. And you had to guess the one that was the least well known or whatever. If you know pointers, you'll know what I mean. I don't think she came up as an answer that nobody got though. This is called verdigris, and I think it will be quite a good one for these ones. It's not particularly intense, so I'm going to layer it up a bit. So she came up in the quiz, and because Mary had talked about it all that time ago, probably 6 months ago or so, I remembered it. So that was pretty cool. I recognised the name Lettuce. Now lettuce isn't really a name you hear a lot, is it? It's quite funny because some father-in-law was talking to me about my niece's friend who's called Summer, and he was like, oh, names these days, so I can't keep up with it. It's quite funny. I think Summer's a really cute name, and I've heard it quite a lot. I think a character in a soap opera, is it Neighbours, was called Summer, but I don't know if there were people called that before. I'm sure there probably were, but there we go. We were also talking about the name April, being as it was April at the time, and he thought that was a little odd, and actually we decided that it's quite an old-fashioned name. I'm going to use the sage green for the door because when I was at Brownies, when I first started, I was putting a 6, and the 6er was called April. So, you know, it is the name of my generation as well. It's not really modern at all. But it's quite interesting because in my generation, the most popular names, I'm just going to choose a colour for these flowers, were probably Claire, Emma, Jo, like Johanna or Joanne. I'm wondering whether to go really bright, like with one of the neons. I think I might try the vigorous green. Look how bright it is. But nowadays those names are really not popular at all. And I find it quite strange because I would have thought that people would have called their children names that they're familiar with, that maybe gosh, that's bright, they grew up with, or that sort of thing. I'm going to use another colour to, not that one, tone it down a bit. I'm grabbing the parrot green and I'm going to put, I'm going to sharpen it so it's really sharp, and then put a little bit of bits and bobs on it. I'll show you. So on the edge I'm going to start, and then here and here and here, just to give it a bit of shape. It's really teeny, so if it's too much for you, don't worry. But yes, my the names, some of the names that of the children in my boys' school were so different to names that I would have, like the name Bailey, it seemed quite popular. I'd never heard of it before. It was not a name I ever knew. It's fascinating. Anyway, that's enough discussion of names. Here is the finished pear. It didn't take too long, did it? I think it's rather cute. The flowers might be a little bit too bright for your liking. If they are, go over with more parrot green and tone it down a bit, but I think it just makes them stand out a little bit, and I'm getting used to it. It's not quite the how I would normally do something, but that doesn't matter, does it? So there we go. So tomorrow, oh excuse me, tomorrow I've got an idea for a different colour to use. Actually that, yeah, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, and yeah, I think I'm pretty much planned now for my colours, so that's exciting. But you'll have to wait and see. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have a really super day. Please do like, subscribe and comment. Thank you so much, and happy colouring.